warm welcome to the third video from this channel. So this used to be the No Yoga channel because I was convinced, it really sounds like hilarious now, but I was convinced I was going to revolutionize yoga and come up with a whole new way to do it. And but there were also things I would like, no, I'm going to find it out, because I was like, for years I was like, I'm going to revolutionize yoga, and then I was like, oh no, I don't want yoga anymore. And either way, this was a channel where I was going to find out what me and yoga were going to do. And so that ended. I still do yoga, very normal yoga at home, and so this channel was freed up, and I had so many thoughts on running a business and basically just having a really passionate life and doing what you love. And I have studied that for years and years. So that's how the Rock Your Business channel was born. And the rock part is from my main English work under this name, which is called Rockstar Writer Nijmegen. So Rockstar Writer Nijmegen is my main, my main English website or page or blog probably. And so from the Rockstar Writer Nijmegen was related to Rockstar Yoga, is now related to Rock Your Business. So I really like to, whatever I do, I like to rock it. So we're at the third video of Rock Your Business. And I had a title ready for you. So I, in the video that I make, I announce a title for the next time. And for this video, I don't have a title for the next time. So I was like, I have to think about that first before I can make the video. Oh my god, that's like point on, or completely on point of why you should not be preparing your work. Reason number one, you start procrastinating the work itself. If I had waited until I knew the next video, if I waited until I knew what I was going to say here, this video probably would not have gotten done. So that's really number one reason not to prepare your work, is that the work may end up not getting done. Another example is that I used to have really extensive planning tools and planners, and in the years that I had those, I got nothing done, nothing I valued, nothing of the the really deep soul aligned creative work where you just, where it just pours out of you and you just make something every day, day after day, because it was like, oh, I have to spend 30 minutes on my finances. It was like every morning I would create a planning, or every week I would create a planning, or I would create a planning. Every moment I felt lost, I would create a planning, and all my creative energy went into the planning. And for 3 years just disappeared in some kind of Bermuda Triangle loophole, where the only thing that we can still find from those 3 years are all the notebooks with all the plans that didn't get done. That's also an excellent example of how preparing your work can just rob you of your time, because you're not doing the work when you're preparing the work. So preparing the work may be the easiest way to kill the work. That's extremely important to realize that. Now we get into the business side of things. You're usually not paid to prepare your work. You're paid to show up for the customer. I'm just not counting, being paid to deliver a service in the form of, like a repair for the car or anything. I mean, that's not work that requires preparation and then you show up for the client. Like you repair the car, then the client comes and, So I'm really, when I say preparing the work, you're automatically thinking, or I'm automatically thinking about some kind of service or event or as an entertainment, something that is usually prepared, like a TED Talk. TED Talk, great example. You're paid for those 15 minutes on stage, and everybody prepares that. I mean, every TED Talk I have seen was given by the heart, or was kind of like written out in advance, and so it's completely scripted, and they learn it by heart, and they stand there and they share it, but it's completely scripted. Now, this is a great example because you can immediately see the big advantage, like why everybody wants to prepare their work, because I don't know of any TED Talk that has fallen flat on its face, because they have prepared it, they've scripted it, they've learned it by heart, and then they go onto the stage, and they're professionals. Most of them are professionals, and they just they rock it. They give a good TED Talk. So that is the reason why to the aspiration that you want to get that level. That is why preparing your work has got such a good name, and why everybody thinks that to do your work well, you have to prepare it. So even if you have aspirations to be, or to have a TED Talk, to do a TED Talk, and you want to compare it to that, even if, just coming back to that, and why you maybe don't want to give a TED Talk, but even then, the service or what you're hired to do, the business side of your work, is probably not giving TED Talks. It's probably something else. So, the thing you're hired for is most likely way more low key. So it should not have the same preparation as a TED Talk. Now, that means that you're, with the more low key services that, not, famous TED Talk, with the more everyday services that you're offering, you're paid by your customer who wants to have a relationship with you, who wants to be in your energy. You're paid for that moment when you're together. You're not paid for the preparation that you put in. Now, you're going to say, I deliver a better service if I prepare. My customer, my clients have a better time with me when I prepare. And I am inviting you to at least consider the possibility that that is not true. That there are multiple reasons why your customer or client will have a better experience if you do not prepare. You're more in the moment. You're at the edge of your seat. You're like, who is coming in? And you're kind of like leveling with all of them, or with the client, or whoever. You're completely in the moment. And now I'm going to ask you something on top of that. I don't just want you to not prepare your work. I also invite you to let go of everything you ever learned. Everything you ever learned about how to give the service, because that's also a preparation, but it's kind of like an ingrained and structured preparation and not specific for the occasion. Let that go. Let go as many or as much as you can about everything you thought about what you were going to do there, and only focus on being in the moment with your customer, your clients, or your group, or whatever. Now, this means that you get an energy of connection because you're connected to the event, the clients, the customers. You're not connected to what you have prepared. You're no longer connected to everything you have learned. You have kind of like cut ties with your memories of everything that was before, and you're there anew. Well, that's exciting. That's great. I mean, that's something that you can feel. So that's another reason why I say maybe don't prepare your work. It might maybe very exciting for your, not exciting, but very compelling for your clients to see you really being present in that moment. You know, it's like I said, something you can feel. And then there's another thing, and that is the excitement aspect of it, and that is you can fail. And that is the exciting part of not preparing your work. You might actually fail. That is, that is when your work becomes art. So the difference between a craftsman and an artist is that a craftsman can only get better at what he does based on his experience, his education, his preparation. He can only get better. He gets a situation where it becomes practically impossible to fail because he has built up so much experience. It's like, once you can walk, you're not just gonna fall because you forgot how to walk. So a craftsman only gets better at what he does, so he can't fail. But an artist can fail. An artist, and the better the artist, the more he can fail. So you could say, like, one way of looking at art is that the best artists are the ones who have the highest risk of failing at what they do. And that is, you can do that in any craft, in any service. If you untie yourself of the history of it, if you untie yourself of everything you've learned, if you untie yourself from everything you've ever given, or how, the way you once offered that service, even with the same people, and you can be in the moment and let it develop from there, then you have reached mastership or artistship over your work. That is the highest level. So personally, I have come at a point where I really can no longer watch anything that has been prepared, whether it's TED Talks or whether it's even a lot of like television series or Netflix or whatever. I'm like, courses, like, if somebody has like a course with 15 videos and they're all, scripted out and perfect lighting, and it's just, I'm like, oh my god, this is just so giving me a headache. It's too perfect. It's not interesting. So I'm really at the point where video wise, I just cannot digest something that has been prepared and filmed again. And well, obviously, if it is like a movie or something, or a well-made television series, then I can. But if it's info products, if it's a course or something, and that is scripted out and that is made perfect, I don't like it. And I'm actually, and also with books, if you have like personal development books and they're all in, you know, like boxed up with like 10 steps to, and then you have an introductory chapter and you have a closing chapter, so you have a book and it's 12 chapters, you know, 10 with 10 steps, and I'm like, I just can't do it. It's like, it's too dull. And it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't, it's not alive. And so I'm really, well, for my own work, I'm really, because I work under a pen name, and I have created books there a couple of years back. I created a lot of books, but they were all very labor intensive, because I just took all the manuscripts or blog posts and put them all, you know, in the document, and I went through them and I put every word basically again in, okay, where does this, where should this be? And I actually had editors for my earliest work. I had editors, and I killed one of the books, got, you know, killed. It was over edited. It was a book that I started in or that was first published and also first edited in 2010, and published online and edited. And after that, it just, you know, I did a few more rounds of that before it finally made it to paper in 2017. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh my god, we killed it. In the last 7 years we killed this book. And so I'm still, you know, finding how far I am willing to go in bringing that aliveness from a blog post, that rawness, that realness onto paper. You know, it has like, those blog posts have completely different, I don't know what the English word is, but there's a word for how the words are put on one page. If you print a blog post, it looks entirely different from if you would turn it into a book. And I'm really thinking, actually, I know that the books that I have read where nothing was changed, where it was basically just from the, or very little was changed, it was just ripped from the blog and it was published in a book. I really like that book, you know, or those books. Whereas if it was cleaned up, and if it was, cleaned up and you know, made more standard, in an attempt to give it a higher quality, something was lost. So if you get nothing from this video, just consider that there is always a price to preparing your work. It's not that your work will only get better or automatically get better and that you will not pay a price, because you will pay a price. It's the price of spontaneity. It's the price of excitement. It's the price of waking your customers or your clients up to the aliveness of what is happening in the moment. And everything you prepare beforehand is you know, is kind of like taking that excitement and that being awake down. So that was it for today. As I said, I didn't prepare this video, but also I don't have a title for the next one. So let's just Let's just make one up right now. Yeah, well, making money from your art, making money as an artist. Yeah, let's do that one. How to make money as an artist. See you next time. Bye.